now that the weird kids are gone, we can get back to a little bit of professionalism over here as we see some bands coming out early so far. Oriana Tristana band away from Bucky's and Orbital Chrome knocking out some of the considerably more OP picks.
Yes, we'd see we got the Senna, the Udyr, and the Seraphine all taken off the board. Pretty standard stuff here from the side of Orbital, as well as Tristana and Oriana being banned away. Just Trist ban, I love it. I actually love Tristana right now. I feel she's pretty good. I think she has a lot of different tools to really work with that kind of go underutilized, if I'm being honest. But Kaisa, it's first pickable, and blue
Yeah.
side grabs it.
Hey, and they didn't wait more than a second to do it either. Super confident in that pick. And hey, why not when you have an 80 carry like Storm 8 coming in to the fray here? Honestly, Storm 8, in my opinion, is probably the second best 80 carry in this league. Maybe just behind Vark. So I really do like getting this guy a power pick early on. And Macro Beast's going to snag up Jin for himself. So this matchup, in my opinion, I do think it's a little Kaisa favored just currently. But Kaisa's at a state where it's like anybody who's good into her as an AD carry isn't very useful right now in general.
Yeah, I mean, Kaisa just has so many different tools for her. I have seen lots of calls for nerfs onto the Void Princess. As a Kaisa one-trick main, I do hope she actually gets buffed. I think she could use a little bit more power, just a little bit. I find myself actually dying sometimes in game, and I just don't think that's fair. I don't see why I need a 1 in my death column. It's just Riot, please.
Yeah,
However,
it's not aesthetic.
Yeah, it just looks ugly. But Rel back onto the Rift once again, this time being paired with the Jin. I think that's a very strong combo. Lots of similarities to that Alistar that we were talking about earlier. Can be just as unkillable. Plus, she has the shield breaker, which when you're looking at actually this combination they've picked for themselves, there's a lot of shielding that you can break through. The Kaisa, the Galio, and the Skarner all have those big beefy shields that can kind of just get nullified here.
Yeah, I'm actually really sad we didn't get to see the Samira run back to follow up on those broken shields. I mean, Galio and Skarner are definitely fairly good picks into that Samira, but it looked really good last game. So hey, unfortunately, they probably weren't watching the stream since they were in their own games, but. I don't know. Maybe have it on an alternate tab and check out what Blaze is doing to come out with a win over one of the top teams in the league. But as it were, you are correct. Rel probably the perfect pick into these three champions, and Olaf is a beautiful follow-up for that Rel. So far, Bucky Stratosphere's composition is looking clean and it's looking deadly.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Array here now on the Olaf. It's something we've seen before. It's very effective there. Lots of quick clears in the jungle, and you do have a lot of ganking potential as well. If you head down in the bottom lane, it's very easy to combo with that Deadly Flourish and just the Rel kit in general, so you can get something going there. We haven't confirmed the support yet for Orbital Chrome, but Kaisa does not have the best mobility pre-6, so I imagine that we may see something pop up down there. More mid lane bans though, Vel'Koz and the Heimerdinger. I guess I don't technically have to call them mid lane bans. They could be bot lane bans as well. And we're actually getting the Gnar, which has been a pretty big point of contention, I think, competitively.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the LCK, the LEC, the LCS, and we all know everybody's last savior, LS, has been very vocal about how bad this champion is, but teams just don't care. They're just picking it anyway.
Yeah, and it just brings so much utility to a team. It brings a lot of split push pressure, a lots of damage in the mini Gnar, a huge ultimate with the Gnar in the Mega Gnar form. So, and I mean, I think it fits into the composition really neatly. Your wombo combo is beautiful between Rel and Gnar right now, and you throw in an Olaf that's just a raging barbarian or Viking rather, standing in the middle of everybody, smacking them around with axes. I really like the look that they've grabbed for themselves. That it shouldn't be ignored though that Orbital Chrome actually has a pretty lethal composition as well. And while Bucky seems to have drafted for more of a giant team fight wipe strategy, Orbital Chrome has 3 different hard carry champions with a Skarner and a Galio to hold their hands.
I actually love this combination from Orbital Chrome. You know, it has the Hypercarrier Kai'Sa, it has the Hypercarrier Camille, it has the nice wave clear in the mid with the Victor, and then you get the accentuators of the Galio and the Skarner, who are there just to facilitate the different team fight engage modes, and it really combos nicely. It gels very cleanly. You have the Camille, who should be able to take over the side lane against the Gnar specifically. Great counter pick there. Camille, in and of herself, has been also surprisingly getting a lot of social media feedback in saying that she's probably a bit too strong. I saw somebody compare her Q to a Cho'Gath feast, and somebody was like, well, no, that's not exactly a fair comparison. Cho'Gath doesn't also get move speed when he uses it, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll see some of that shining through, and we're gonna see Bucky's actually round out their composition with the Malzahar, something we really haven't seen in a hot minute.
And Malzahar is my permaban, not because he's OP, not because he's that crazy strong or adds that much to a team. It's primarily because he's the most frustrating champion in the game. He has a suppress that can completely take any individual completely out of the story. And why not throw a spell shield on him so that you can't even really harass him that well in lane. And honestly, I think that just goes more into the identity the Buckies has drafted for themselves. That team fight for that team is insanity. If they can get a perfect front-to-back team fight, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. That Gnar and the Rel can pair up with one another, and then have the Olaf and the Malzahar just hurt people's feelings. That's going to be disgusting to deal with.
Yeah, the Malzahar specifically also kind of is like the definition of that QSS tax as well, right? Like, this champion single-handedly brought that meme into existence.
It did.
Granted, we didn't have the same comparisons, right? Like, Mordekaiser didn't exist at that time. Well, he did, but not in his current form. So, like, he was one of the only champions that really necessitated this type of item purchase, and so he has it for a reason. And even to this day, even though his damage isn't quite as high as it once was, it's still a thing that needs to be purchased. And as the Kai'Sa, as the Camille, it is going to be a concern once that level 6 hits, because both of these want to be near the front line, not in the front line, but near the front line, and being able to be in close range, dealing that damage. Both are very susceptible to that Nether Grasp if they're within range, and with the damage that Bucky Stratosphere have drafted around it, it is extremely scary to be caught out. And honestly, I don't even know if anybody on Orbital would be able to survive such a tactic.
Well, you can't forget the Orbital Chrome did grab themselves the QSS apprentice here in the Skarner. So, that Impale, you snag up a Jhin or really it's just the Jhin, actually. You probably don't want anybody else. You grab up the Jhin, that poor Jhin is going to have a very short trip before a Kai'Sa, Camille, and Victor can make him go poof. So, I'm really thinking we're probably going to see a bunch of QSSs for Jhin and Orbital Chrome come out this game. And I'm going to start a little counter just to see how many we get, because I think it's going to be extremely funny to keep track of. And we'll see which one of these suppressed champions comes out to be more valuable. They're both purple and they're both frustrating to deal with. So it's going to be a heck of a matchup.
One isn't ranged. Malzahar doesn't have to be in your face, and I think I do have a counter.
Yeah, go for
Skarner. Who needs 1300 for QSS when you can just build a Gale Force, right? As soon as you see that Skarner anywhere near you as Jhin, you just Gale Force out. Yes, it's that longer 90-second cooldown now compared to the 60 seconds that it was a little while ago, but it's the same cooldown as a QSS. You now get further away, and you can Curtain Call or Deadly Flourish with impunity, and you may have just baited the Skarner into the rest of your team. So I think Jhin inherently has some safety here, and as the only really susceptible Impale member, he's probably in the best spot he's been in years. If you're really thinking about marksman and their item ability. So you're right. One of these characters is going to do great, and the other characters is going to fall flat. But I think, Juicebox, when you're looking at these two compositions, without actually thinking about it, I don't want any thought in your answer here. Head empty, thought strong. Who wins?
Orbital Chrome.
You're wrong. And but no, tell me why.
Okay, so honestly, the reason why is because you don't need to win team fights to win games. And Orbital Chrome, they do have an excellent team fight comp. You can't take that away from them. But they also have a really, really solid collapse comp, if you will. Bucky's, they need to be a wrecking ball. They need to come in as 5 and roll through Miley Cyrus style and try to blow up Orbital Chrome. But all Orbital Chrome needs to do is get either Kaisa, Camille, or Victor ahead. They have many options, and honestly, if you can get more than one, then you're just in that much better of a spot. And if any of these 3 options can get super far ahead, slap a QSS on them, get them a Kales, whatever you got to do. But they should honestly be more than suited to carry a game for Chrome.
All right, I've heard your thoughts.
All right, now tell me why I'm wrong.
Because Bucky Stratosphere just get to press R. Realistically, I mean, every single one of their champions presses R really well. They have a lot of good things that happen when they press R, and they're just frankly easier to execute in general, in my opinion. You have the Rel, who's very simple to go in. The Jhin only has to count to 4, very easy to go in. Malzahar just has to press R from afar, and the rest of the team can do the real work in these team fights. And I just think that the composition that Bucky have put together for themselves is a little bit easier to execute. Plus, when you look at the players piloting them, Macro Beast has been an absolute animal in these marksman roles. You have Array and Silver Spurge, who do have that previous, teamwork compatibility from Anarchy File and Paladins last season. And, yes, we've seen Slim Kim kind of struggle in that top lane, but it's pretty easy for them to press R. And so we are going to kick it a short break, but stay tuned, because once again, you do have Necrox and DJ waiting for you on the other end of that break. Now, this is going to be a quick one, so you do not have time to leave. Do not refresh that browser. Stay right where you are, and we'll be right back.
Hello everyone and welcome to Summoner's Rift, as we are back live. Not a long break at all, but game number 2 between Bucky's Stratosphere and Orbital Chrome. And at the bottom of the table, DJ, these two teams looking to make the difference, turn their season around and get back on track to win it all. And a good start would be an early invade, but that is a 5-man boomerang. Slim Kim topping the damage charts.
There you go, Slim Kim. Get it started strong here today. We love to see it. We did hear a little bit from the analysts about this Gnar pick, which is controversial in the higher echelons of professional League of Legends, but will be picked up nonetheless will be a good team fighter, of course, and that really is the theme of these two comps. One is a team fighting composition. They'll look to get that Malzahar onto a key member, get that engage from Rel, and then go ham with their two tanky champions in front of the Olaf and the Jhin. On the other hand, you have a very interesting pick comp that has been drafted by the likes of Orbital Chrome, and in particular, that Camille Galio combination has been given over to them, something we have always seen to be very effective in games, or particularly as it goes on and side lane pressure becomes more and more important. So we'll keep an eye on that. But one other thing that I'm going to keep my eye on in this game is it may be only February, but the IRS has sent out some advanced agents, two of their best on the Rift today. We have two tax collectors in the Malzahar and the Skarner, so we'll be keeping an eye on how many QSSs are bought and how many taxes these two will collect throughout this game.
Yeah, pay up, ladies and gentlemen. 1,300 gold demanded, no questions asked. Gotta pay that QSS tax. But regardless, I do like the pick composition that is drafted. Typically, you see the Galio put in mid lane. So once that early level 6 comes in, Slashdiv could, ult up to top side, make an early play, but you're gonna have to get Nelson across Summoner's Rift if you want to get the Camille going. It's going to be a little interesting how they maneuver that one. Gonna have to let Assisted stay here bot lane by himself, and I'm not sure exactly where they're going to get it going. Skarner is going to facilitate that a little bit, but on the other end, it's a relatively simple composition. You got Gnar, Rel, Engage, a Malzahar, and a key target as you're mentioning, and then Olaf and Jhin will basically just whack away on whoever they want. So I really like red side draft. It seems more like a blue side draft if anything, the sheer just power pick composition. But here we go. It's going to be first play made onto Slim Kim. Hop, skip, and a jump will take him right to safety though.
Yep, good work there from Slim Kim, and that is sort of the shortcoming of that champion. Of course, the old Captain Flowers favorite there on that Skarner. It's just really hard to close the distance. Another jungler like an Olaf with an axe, some sort of gap close might have been able to close Slim Kim down. And of course, the Gnar in that mini form, extremely squishy, would not have had the survivability to likely survive the gank even this early into the game. But nevertheless, Slim Kim has gotten out of it and will continue to farm away, has started the lane fairly well, up a couple of CS on this Camille as they continue to trade.
Yeah, and don't be shocked when you hear us call ADC, because that is the name of the top laner, and while I do fully agree with his name, it makes our lives not as easy, but I appreciate the solid meme regardless. And as jungle pathing goes, it was a relatively normal start. You can see both junglers at 24 CS. It is a handshake of Scuttle Crabs, which is per usual. Nothing too crazy here, neither on runes. Everyone's sitting at just about normal. Jhin gonna opt for the fleet work, but here we go. Slim Kim again gonna hop, skip, and a jump to stun his air, and a great hook shot, wall shot, and Slim Kim is dead to rights, no way out, and Nightmare doing a wonderful job there to predict that hop, skip, jump. There you go. Taunt onto one, gonna get the flash out of limitations. Doesn't turn into too much, but it's an aggressive look here from Orbital Chrome at the beginning. They find first blood, and they get the 80 carries flash.
Yeah, we just talked about that Gnar and how squishy he is in mini form. This time around, a deeper path taken by Nightmare on the Skarner. And oh boy, limitations might be in trouble, but here comes the counter gank.
No flash, but here comes the counter gank. It's going to be a 3v3. Or, no, it's just a 2v3. Assistant's going to die here every day of the week. Array may be traded back. Ignite ticking down. Final blow will deal the final bit of damage. Hook shot, wall shot from the TP in from ADC 2021. Lol, W is here, and he's found himself a kill as well on the TP play. I thought Skarner would show up a little bit quicker, but nowhere to be found. And limitations, a beautiful bait there. And all of a sudden, this game, Orbital Chrome favored every day of the week.
Absolutely. It's a great play in the bottom side. You can see Bucky's trying to bait in the engage there. Their jungler is around. Array is waiting. They get that engage, but very nice turnaround from the likes of Orbital Chrome. That TP coming in from their top side. 2021 gets a good angle, gets a good re-engage, takes down the kill, and now leading by a kill score of 3-1 and taking the first Drake are Orbital Chrome. They have started this match out very well and have gotten some kills onto a key member really in there, Camille, who will be that point of pressure in the side lane as this game progresses. In the meantime, we just see some standard trading coming out of the mid laners. Not a lot of action there, but it is a good start for Orbital, and they will look to build upon it as that first Drake's been taken down, the second in another 5 minutes.
Yeah, and this is the problem with Bucky's, right? I mean, when you draft a composition like this, you have to deny plays from going down. But here we go. Silver Spirit just gonna pop the ultimate here in mid lane. Ticking low is Slash Div. Arcane Comet gonna be dodged away from. Here on bot side though, maybe a trade play here as Evan's gonna be taunted up very low. The silver skin is popped. There you go. One more auto. Does it, and easy as you like. Evan can't escape. Justice Punch not available here. Finally gonna come back up. Where's the taunt? It would get enough CC. Limitations. No way he escapes this one. He's running towards the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. A lot of damage onto Nelson, to be fair, and he trades it 1-for-1. Well done. 2 TP's gonna join the fray. Silver Spurgeon's here, but without his ultimate, his champion really doesn't do all too much. But they get the return TP out of Slash Div. A 2-for-1 in the bot lane. Good on Limitations to trade that one back 1-for-1.
Yeah, good play here from Orbital Chrome. And one thing that we've failed to mention is a couple of new AD carries for these two sides today. Assisted in for Orbital Chrome. Limitations coming in for Macro Beast on the side of Bucky's. And you can see the advantage early on going to Orbital Chrome. They catch out Eben, who is only level 4 at the time. He falls down to that Kai'Sa, and then there's nowhere for the Jhin to go. Limitations realizes he's dead, makes the right decision in trying to turn that one around, ends up getting a kill back onto the support, and then that trade of TPs ends the play overall. But do need to keep an eye on these two new carries for both these teams and see if they can have a good first day performance for themselves. Try to solidify these positions and carry their team higher up the table. But here's some trouble for Limitations.
Yeah, Limitations, no flash, no heal, no way away. Taunts through, one more auto attack, and they flash for it as well. Limitations not going to be able to get through, and Eben in a little bit of trouble, but he will be just fine getting under his turret. Ignite ticking down there from Nelson will secure the kill. Array is here, lurking with a couple undertows, but not going to find too much, and some more trading on top side as well. Slim Kim maybe in a little bit of danger. A lot of damage coming out from that second auto from ADC. Slim Kim regenning will be all right for now, but neither jungler invested in this top side just quite yet.
Yep, not quite yet, and I think very happy to just let this Camille exist on her own as long as there's no jungle attention coming to take her down. You don't really need to answer. Should be just fine into a Gnar lane, as the Gnar should mostly be into Camille. Would likely need some support, would ADC, in order to take down this Gnar, particularly in the Mega form. But does have that kill, and they can just wait until this Camille scales into a threat. Later this game goes, the harder and harder it's going to be for that Gnar to keep up. Slim Kim will probably try to group for team fights, but there's really no way, particularly in the mini-Gnar form, to compete with the Camille. But again, they're trying to brutalize this bot lane.
Nelson is just phenomenal on these engages, and Assisted gets a lot of damage onto either target. Sadly not getting an isolated Acacian range, so won't be able to do as much damage as maybe they'd like to at this point. But certainly Nelson showing up tonight and dominating this bot lane in sheer Galio fashion. This is when the pick comp comes online, when Assisted can sit here 1v2 and farm away, and Nelson gets to move into side lane 6 now online for the Galio, and look at where he's going, DJ. He's already gone.
Yeah, he is already gone. Going to look to go support the team, and he can. Assisted, has plenty of health. Evan just now ticking over to 6. Can look for that engage, but will have to get through Kai'Sa's ultimate, and she still has both summoners available. So Assisted feeling very safe at the moment. Now Nelson is back. Doesn't really see any options on the map at the moment. You can see Slim Kim backing in top lane, picking up that Iron Spike whip alongside his Hearthbound Axe to try to match up against ADC in that top lane, who's working towards that Trinity Force. So we do see a Chem Tank coming in here for the Skarner. So Nightmare going to be feeling pretty strong with that speed boost, can close the gap very quickly. But really hard to put pressure on this bottom lane. So do keep your eyes on Nelson, who now has access to that ultimate, to try to be involved in the next play around the map when it does come. And it may just be around this Infernal Drake that's spawning in 4 seconds.
Yeah, and here we go, then 1v1, and topside Sunkin is in so much danger, and he never wins that 1v1, and a hook shot set that one up every day. ADC 2021 solo kill in the top lane, and that's the problem. When you're in Mininar, you have absolutely no way to win that 1v1, and Array will be chased away off the dragon as well. Everything coming up Orbital Chrome. Bucky's is struggling, and this is the point I wanted to make earlier. As the curtains will open, I won't be able to complete my point just quite yet, but limitations! May just be killed here. One more auto would proc the second skin, but it dissipates at the last second. It doesn't matter. Assist is there regardless. Still has flash, last heal. Here comes the hero's entrance. Maybe you're going to turn this one around, and they do. It's disaster for Bucky's Stratosphere as they are sent out of space, and there's no room on this earth. For Bucky's, they are pushed at a bot lane, they are pushed at a top lane, they are thrown off the dragon, and everything coming up Chrome.
And Assisted does it himself for the first kill, then lives up to his name, gets the help from Nelson, from Nightmare, onto the second kill, onto Array, but showing up on the debut is Assisted. Now 4-1-2 on this Kai'Sa. What a start for him. Look at the advantage. This Kai'Sa is going to be a serious problem. Has already upgraded the Q now, and we'll be looking to upgrade the E soon. It's going to be so hard to kill Assisted as this game goes on, and Orbital continues to pile a lead for themselves. There's one in top lane, there's one in bot lane, and mid lane is just about even. Even the jungler has more farm than an Olaf on a Skarner, so things not looking great for the likes of Bucky's, as they may be sinking towards their 9th straight defeat, but may just be able to kill a Slash damage.
Oh, Slash. That flash is not what you want, but a good stun. Array doesn't have the Ragnarok, so he can't follow through. Silver Spurge gonna pop the ultimate, but he's taken out of it with a great impale. ADC's gonna hop forward with a hook shot, and meanwhile, bot lane is in their own 2v2. They'll take down Eben. Array's trying to get under his turret, but the Hextech ultimatum locks him in place. It's a double kill of the top laner of Orbital Chrome. 12-2 in the scoreboard. Bot lane winning, top lane winning, mid lane getting away, and jungle outplays every day. This is absolutely beautiful from Orbital Chrome as they are showing they are the dominant team. They don't stop, and Assisted is quite literally dominating 13-2 before I could even finish speaking.
Vote him up, give him the man of the match. It's already definitely gonna be Assisted here in all likelihood. 6-1-2 on the Kai'Sa, absolutely demolishing this bot lane with the help of Nelson. And it's just a disaster for Bucky's, losing out on every part of the map. They lose the mid jungle 2v2. They get some influence from ADC in the top lane, who is winning that matchup heftily, and it's all falling apart. I just can't see where the advantages are going to come for Bucky's. You're facing a hyper-scaling AD carry in the bottom lane with a more caster-focused AD carry in the Jhin. Eben is not tanky, so far behind, is going to struggle to engage all game long, and this Camille is going to be already absolutely unstoppable. 4-0-1 in this top lane, has the Trinity Force completed, and of course will have more and more assistance from Nelson as towers fall, and they do try to press that advantage in top lane. I mean, what is Bucky's going to do to try to turn this one? Oh, no.
Good Lord. The IRS is calling, and you haven't paid your taxes yet.
Right? Come on.
May lose his life for this one, but the Ragnarok not going to be available. It's not going to be enough after it dissipates. Array is in trouble. Double kill on over to ADC 2021 yet again. It's a different year, but it's the same carry in the top lane all game long, and Orbital Chrome are putting on a clinic. And finally, maybe I'll get a chance to finish my thought here about Bucky's draft. They drafted a team fighting composition that has to wait until they all 5 can group together, wait for the big Rel Nar engage. They don't particularly have winning lanes either. Yes, you could argue Jhin and Rel should have priority in bot as Silver Spurge is just going to die. And they just haven't been executing on letting lanes lane all season. I don't like to see a team who is struggling in lane draft a team fighting composition. This was going to happen every single time that you draft this sort of composition, and I just don't like what Buckies have done with their draft. I think they need to adapt, but regardless, Orbital Chrome look phenomenal, and you have to give praise to Assisted and Nelson for putting on a clinic. ADC 2021 looking amazing in the top lane in this ISO 1v1. And they're going to go for this very aggressive play. Assisted's going to hop in with a killer instinct. Unstoppable goes Array, but he doesn't win that 1v1 regardless. Assisted may have to flash forward. He does, but can he get away? Array is going to go down, double kill, and look at the damage from ADC as, Slim Kim had TP'd in, but at what cost? The tower may just go down before he does, but they're going to take the kill regardless. Double kill on over to Array, and, excuse me, ADC 2021 as Array fell, and this game looks bad.
Yep. Orbital Chrome got some shiny new toys. ADC 2021 coming into the top lane, Assisted coming into the bottom lane, and they are sparkling like the name implies here today. 8-0-2 in the top side, 8-1-3 in the bottom lane. Assisted and ADC have taken over this game with the help of their more supportive carries. And it's not even worth calling the play-by-play. It's just an absolute funeral home for the side of Bucky. It just piles on. They can't get away. Oh, what are you?
So glad you could take that one, DJ, because that is not worth the oxygen if I've ever seen a play. You know it's really bad when Silver Spurge is opening ultimate and he's taking more damage while he's ulting than he's doing to his target. So the solo lanes here are supposed to be the win conditions. Between Slim Kim and Silver Spurge, that are supposed to be the carries of this team, the stars of this team, really, the spotlight was on them, and they came up short. They've been coming up short what feels like all season long, and they haven't found the winning formula yet. Orbital Chrome certainly are looking to punish this draft and the playstyle that Buckies have got here, and it's really a game over at this point. I hate to call it this way, but you know, I'm not gonna lie and say that there's really any hope that Buckies get back into this one. It's really just now about looking forward at game 2. Is look at this ridiculousness. Limitations is dead in a 1v1 under turret. Yeah, sure, Slash Div got an assist on the play, but it doesn't matter. He was dead regardless.
Yeah, he absolutely was dead regardless. The 80 carry that I am, you hate to see it. It's so painful to watch because there's just nothing you can do. Limitations and hold on here as we have more action, and Nelson actually might be in trouble here.
That's a big engage from Evan. They're gonna go forward. Nelson's gonna hop forward and get Nelson once again, but Slim Kim is on the run, and Assisted is gonna come up and say thank you for the free kill. A good deadly flourish over the wall, find ADC, but
look at where ADC is. Look at where he is. He can just be wherever he wants.
Yeah. I mean, Nightmare is quite literally just gonna run down. Oh my good god, this is...
What are they doing to my boy? They're doing it to my boy. They're doing it to Jhin. They're doing it to the 80 carry. I feel so bad for Limitations in this one because his support falls behind in the early game. He's actually was even on CS with Assisted until about the 11-minute mark, and then he's just getting 4 or 5 members diving him under the bot lane, diving him under tier 2, and like you just throw your hands up. What are you supposed to do? ADC is diving you 1v1 in between your turrets, behind your second tier turret. He can just do whatever he wants on this Ravenous Hunter Trinity Force. He's 12-0-3 with 150 CS. This is absolute domination from the new shiny top laner for Orbital Chrome. I'm at a loss for words for how strong this Camille is. I think she could probably 1v5 the entire enemy team without a problem.
Yeah, probably. And at that point, you gotta wonder, as Doctor was just messaging me, is there a mercy rule in in League of Legends? Because certainly looking to take that option out here for Bucky's. And that brings up a relatively good point. How are your mentals faring after this game? There's no way you can even be... yeah. All right. There's no way you can even be okay to perform normally in game number 2. I'm kind of at a loss for words about what to say about this game because Orbital Chrome looks so good, but in part, to be frank, because Bucky's look so disorganized. They're losing solo lanes, they're not grouping around objectives, they have no vision control now at all. It just seems like this game was lost from the beginning and never was there a chance. Here we go. Maybe they're going to find the kill, but it's excellently played by ADC to avoid the initial engage. Nelson is here with the Aftershock. A good double top, but it doesn't land into the one because of the Ragnarok unstoppable. Nelson now about half HP. Rocket Belt goes forward. When the Gallia support is building Rocket Belt, you know things are not on your side. The curtains have opened. The shots will come through. They won't be able to kill anyone.
Oh, no.
As they just have too much health and sustain. The level difference is incredible.
They're
The damage
already dead. They're already dead.
is incredible. Stop it! Stop it! That is cyberbullying. You can't flash forward for a 0-5 Malzahar with one item. That is cyberbullying. And with 21, nearly 22 minutes on the clock, DJ, they may just end the game, but they're going to play it cautious. They're going to walk out.
I don't even know if they're playing it cautious. This brings me back to game week 1 when Akuma Glaze was playing Catalyst Blaze and they backed on an unnecessary Baron take. They could have ended the game inside the enemy base, and we asked their AD carry after the game why they backed, and his response was had the KDA. Or sorry, was their top laner. I think this might be the same thing. You talk about cyberbullying. I think this is absolutely cyberbullying. I think they easily could have ended the game.
And this... I will go ahead and make this assumption, as I have not watched every game that Excellency has offered, but at least the ones that are on stream. This is the most one-sided game Excellency has had. Look at Assisted going forward, but where's your tax?
You didn't pay the tax.
The tax! The IRS, they're angry! And Silver Spurge has finally got one back, but it's a conciliation prize here. Is there's really no meaning to that kill whatsoever. Yes, you kill the absolutely cracked Assisted, but it does not matter. You're losing your base. You've lost Cloud Soul. This game is over.
Didn't pay the tax. There's no taxpayers here. They're all dodging. They're all dodging their taxes. They deserve this.
This has got to be a Swiss bank or something because no one is paying their taxes. And here we go. Evan's going to look for ADC. He gets relatively low, but just kidding. It was all a debate. Array has to run back to the fountain. And Orbital Chrome. There has to be something said about this team. At the bottom of the table, they look like a top-tier contender every time that they look to make a play in this game, at least. You can see they'll pad the KDAs, they'll pad the stats one more. Nelson will get executed because why the hell not? And Orbital Chrome look phenomenal. It's just a question of can they keep this up in game 2 and for the rest of their series. And, well, that again. You want to take the rest of this, DJ? Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, so everyone's dead and the Nexus is dead.
Great play-by-play. Phenomenal gameplay. I'll give it a round of applause. That was 20,000 gold. I have never seen a more one-sided game, actually. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, 24,000 gold, 24 minutes as well for the side of Orbital Chrome, looking like a completely different team with these 2 substitutions coming in. That was so clean from them. They punished every mistake. They won all of their lanes and won all of the team fights. Beautiful performances from ADC and Assisted in particular, with a shout out as well to Nelson with a lot of those engages in the bottom lane. And you talked about mental after a game like this. This has to be crushing for the likes of Bucky's, who have already struggled so much in this, in 0-8 now, 0-9 after this one. Well, let's keep one thing in mind. We have a lot of strong players in this league, a lot of strong teams, and we just saw Catalyst Blaze, who has also struggled in the early parts of the season, turn it around after a convincing loss in game number 1 to YO Boomers. We know it is possible. We have seen it here tonight. And we heard from their player of the game, OG Roach that they have been turning it around in the previous weeks. This looked bad for Bucky's, but if they can turn it around, get themselves a better draft, we may be able to see another comeback in a best of 2 series tonight, Necrox.
Well, if we're going to see Bucky's first win or not, let's send it to our analyst desk to break down what even that game meant for these two squads. Doctor and GJ, please give me something because I'm out of words.